Ahoy there, mateys! That's right, I said it again. Maybe I'll say it at the beginning of every episode this season. Welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is a podcast where we watch Muppet Treasure Island 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
And I'm your other host, Anthony Strand, back again, talking about the Muppets, and it's never going to end. Just in case you didn't get enough of our squawking, now we're here to talk about Jim Hawkins. We got Gonzo and Rizzo and even Billy Bones. Wait, Robin gets to go to a tavern all alone? But look, Rowlf is there, and he's dressed like a Quaker. These minutes have a mug that looks like Martin Baker. Before it wears thin, that's the end of this shtick. It's Muppet Treasure Island, minutes 5 and 6!
What the heck just happened? I had no idea you were going to do that, and that was amazing.
No, you did not.
Okay, so I'll tell our listeners, I had asked you if you wanted to do a rap for this season, like you did at the very beginning of last season, because you decided that Muppet Christmas Carol should have a rap like other movies in the 90s. And you said no. You said you had no interest in doing a rap for Muppet Treasure Island.
And I couldn't think of one for the whole, like the general one. It's a lot longer in Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And just today while I was taking notes, or yesterday while I was taking notes for these minutes, I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do it just about this.
Wow.
Who cares?
Wow. Well, what a delightful surprise. It was like finding buried treasure unexpectedly.
Good. All right.
Yes, and the other person who's sitting here in awe of that rap is our most frequent guest back with us again. Guest, who are you?
Hi, it's me, Joe Hennes, also of toughpigs.com. I was going to come in with some kind of stupid shtick, but I can't, first of all, can't top that. Second of all, I am so happy that I was present for that moment. Wow, Anthony, my jaw is on the floor.
I think
incredible.
I think you being here was part of it though too. Like, if it had been like some other guest who I don't know as well, I don't know that I just feel like here's a dumb rap about these 2 minutes.
Right. If we had gotten Hans Zimmer to be our guest on this episode, you probably wouldn't have done that.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that rap was better than the entirety of Muppet Treasure Island.
Whoa.
Hot take.
Yeah, you're coming in strong, just like I knew you would.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into all that eventually. Maybe this episode, maybe next episode, maybe both. We'll see. You'll be here with us for 2. But today we are talking about minutes 5 and 6 of Muppet Treasure Island, in which we meet a bunch of characters, some of them unsavory, and learn that we should be afraid of the one-legged man. So at the very beginning of this clip, there's a cool transition I just want to mention that started at the end of the previous clip. It's a little hard to explain because it's so visual, but I'm going to try to do it anyway. At the end of Captain Flint walking away, after, I guess, killing all the other pirates and sailors that he just shot, the edges of the frame appeared to catch on fire, and now we see that the flames are on a burning tricorn hat, like the kind of hats that you always see pirates wear. And it's moving away from the camera. As it moves away, we see that it appears to be falling into a fireplace. And then finally, the burning hat vanishes when a cup of liquid is tossed on it. And then we see that the liquid is in a cup being held by the character who's been telling us the story of Captain Flint. It happens very fast, but it's a cool effect. I'm not sure exactly how they did it. I guess maybe they just really set a hat on fire and shot it on a green screen or something like that. But I like it. Any thoughts about the burning hat?
I never noticed it or thought about it.
I never noticed that it was a hat until this time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So no, I have no thoughts except one thing that I'm going to be looking out for a lot throughout this movie, and I assume you guys more so, is Muppet Christmas Carol is such a tour de force for Brian Henson, and at least in my opinion, this movie doesn't hold up to that standard. But I'm sure there are moments throughout this movie in which he'll do things that are like, oh yeah, you're trying to like reach that same height, with things like, cool camera tricks and forced perspectives and weird puppet stuff, and all that great stuff from Up Christmas Carol. So maybe this is one of those things where Brian Henson was like, okay, I got this idea, and it's gonna take us like 2 weeks to pull it off, and it's gonna be about a second and a half of screen time, but it's worth it. We got to do it.
Right. Yeah, it looks cool, but it does go by so fast. But it brings us to the inside of the Admiral Benbow Inn. I don't know. Do we ever actually hear on screen or see that it's called the Admiral Benbow Inn, or do we just know that?
I think they do say it. We should just watch out for it. We're gonna watch this whole movie.
That's true. Okay, we'll keep an ear out. Ann and I.
Is it a coincidence that Benbow sounds so much like bimbo?
It does. That's why I think I may have just pronounced it more like bimbo than.
Do you guys want me to jump ahead and explain who Admiral Benbow was?
Oh, sure.
Yep. Sure, do. Do it in rhyme.
I can.
No, don't even try. It's okay. Don't. Yeah.
I'd have to think about it. A hero of the Royal Navy in the 1600s.
Oh, so this is a real person.
Vice Admiral John Benbow. Yes, he died in, I want to say 1703. I had it. I meant to write it down and then I didn't. Let me see. John Benbow. Let's see. Born 1653 to 1702. He was a vice admiral in the Royal Navy.
Okay.
And in the book, Navy enthusiast Robert Louis Stevenson named the inn after him. It's not a real inn, but named after a real life guy.
And whose finger does he live inside?
Oliver Cromwell.
Okay. What?
But you said this. You told us before, but this book was published in 1883. Is that right?
Yes, it was serialized in 81, 82.
So people reading the book probably wouldn't have known who the real Admiral Benbow was, unless they were also, enthusiasts.
It depends on how big of naval enthusiasts they are, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, I don't know. Like, I don't live in England. So maybe that's a name that's as familiar as like Patrick Henry and Nathan Hale or something.
Oh, yeah.
I truly have no idea.
All right.
Maybe it was like a common, like you would name, a pub or some other kind of place after these famous people.
Right. Maybe there were some places named after him. Yeah. Cool.
It was a chain. Yeah, it was a fast food chain.
Like Long John.
Much like
Long John Silver's.
I'm just gonna say it.
Well, of course you were.
Just like Popeyes.
Our other favorite chain named after a sailor. Wow.
Oh,
that's great.
What was the name of the pirate from the McDonald Land characters?
Oh boy.
Because there was a pirate, you remember?
I can picture him. Yeah.
I can picture him perfectly.
I'm so ashamed that I can't remember his name.
I'm gonna go McDonald pirate. Captain
say...
Crook.
Okay.
Captain Crook. Wow.
Captain Crook.
Like Captain Crook,
You're
you guys.
a crook, Captain Hook. Judge, you must throw the book at the pirate. Remember Arrested Development?
Yeah. Oh, man.
I was going to say Captain Kidd with 1D, but that was the mascot of the kids area of SeaWorld back in the day.
You're thinking of Kid Video.
Kid Video with 2 Ds. That was the Saturday morning cartoon. That was great. I loved that show.
You're thinking of Kids Incorporated.
Wait, that was also a Saturday morning show. No, I'm thinking of Monsters Incorporated. We could do this all day. Billy Bones is the guy telling the story. Billy Bones is played by Billy Connolly.
Hey, Ryan.
Yes?
Who is Billy Connolly?
Who is Billy Connolly?
Who is that guy?
He is a Scottish comedian and actor who was, from what I've gathered, big in the UK for many years before crossing over to the US in the 90s.
Yeah, he's like a legend. He's like legendary in the UK.
Yeah.
And here he's famous. He's well known, certainly.
Right. He was on the last season of the ABC sitcom Head of the Class. He was brought in to play the new teacher, I think. I didn't really look into that, but that's my memory of that.
Yep, I remember that, yeah.
And he was a Disney, decided to become a Disney guy around this time. He's in Pocahontas.
Right,
also,
yes.
He's John Smith's buddy on the ship.
Yeah. His other movie credits include Indecent Proposal, Mrs. Brown, which my theater arts class in high school once watched, and most people thought it was boring, but I thought it was pretty good. White Oleander, The Last Samurai, Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties.
Directed by Tim Hill.
Oh, really? Right.
Muppets from Space, Tim Hill.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about him more next season. And Brave, as well as a bunch of TV guest star spots. And he's just fairly recently, I think, retired from stand-up comedy, but also like just kept continued to do that until recently.
Yeah. You left out my favorite piece of Billy Connolly's filmography,
Oh, what is
which is
that?
that he's in the third Hobbit movie as like the master of some town or something.
Okay.
Because I don't like those Hobbit movies all that much.
I've seen
but
none of those.
No,
But-
they're quite bad. They're quite bad.
each of them, for reasons known only to Peter Jackson, features a well-known comedian as a king. And it's Barry Humphries in the first one, Stephen Fry in the second one, and Billy Connolly in the third one.
Huh.
And
Okay.
none of them is really very like playing comedy characters, really. But they're just like, it's like three extremely funny gentlemen being kings in The Hobbit. I think Peter Jackson just wanted to entertain himself. Or something.
Yeah,
I really
like
do.
that
You know,
idea.
I mean, everything we know about those Hobbit movies is that Peter Jackson had no time to plan anything. So I'm sure it was very little thought and more like, I like these people. Oh, that's kind of a funny idea. Just do it. And then we have to move on.
And wasn't the whole thing, this is one movie's worth of story, so how do we pad it out so it can be 3 movies?
Yeah.
It's not even one movie's worth of story. Like the book is like a third of the size of one of the Lord of the Rings books.
No, it's like 300 pages.
Is it? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
so shorter.
Yeah, it's like a third of the size of Lord of the Rings. Like it's
No.
shorter than any Lord of the Rings book, but not that much.
But hobbits are much shorter than normal men.
Oh,
That's
true.
why I thought
that
that
is
point
true.
there.
There's no kings of men in the Hobbit book.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Billy Bones explains that Captain Flint died before he could return to that cursed, or he maybe says cursed island to retrieve the treasure. Now we see that he's telling the story in a crowded, candlelit room. Appears to be a tavern, as Anthony alluded to.
Well, before we talk about the tavern, real quick, I had 2 things about Billy Connolly that I wanted to bring up.
Oh, sure.
Oh, please.
One is that apparently in 2002, he said in one of his stand-up bits, he made a joke about that he was the only man to ever die in a Muppet movie.
Yes.
Is that true?
I was thinking about
is that still true? Because that was obviously over 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking about talking to that when we actually get to that scene, but I think you.
Oh, okay.
I know you won't be here, so.
I won't be here. Wait, he's gonna die?
You thought this was a kids movie? I can't think of any humans dying in any Muppet movies.
Yeah, right.
They definitely get injured. But I mean, even like, what's the worst that happens? Mel Brooks gets his brain zapped.
Scrambled.
Doc
guess
Hopper gets chased away by a giant animal. It's
like technically Scrooge is dead in the Christmas Yet to Come, but
Right. Yeah. We
Yeah.
see a world where Scrooge is dead.
yeah, right. That's as close as I can think of.
even
But then
though
he
we
wakes
don't
up,
see him
he's-
die.
He's married as a schoolboy. He's not dead.
Right.
The other thing about Billy Connolly is this weird connection that like he's got the same first name as his character, Billy Bones, Billy Connolly.
Right.
And I tried. I mean, there's a page on the Muppet Wiki, a category of people who've appeared in Muppet movies, and I tried to see if like there were any others aside from celebrities who played themselves.
Right.
You know, like Whoopi Goldberg is herself
Edgar
in
Bergen.
the 2011. Yeah, Edgar Bergen. Yeah. You know, it's like Selma Hayek and Christoph Waltz and Muppets Most Wanted.
Right.
Saoirse
Danny
Ronan.
Trejo. You know.
Yes.
So I could only come up with one. And it is also very possible this person is playing themselves and they're not really a celebrity. But I want to see if you all could figure it out or come up with any others that I didn't notice.
So it's in a theatrically released Muppet movie?
Yeah.
And it's somebody with another character addresses them by name?
Yes.
Is it? Oh, it's the guy from Sardi's.
Oh, Vincent. Yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
think of-
Liza
he's playing
Minnelli
himself.
says
Oh, but he's
Vincent-
playing
yep.
himself, yeah.
He's playing himself.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing
So
Vincent.
this
Sorry,
person
I forgot about him.
you're saying this person is not playing themselves, but they are addressed by
They
name?
might.
And
They
have the same
might
name.
be. They might be.
They
It
are
is
addressed by
unclear.
their first name,
They are addressed
and
by
it's
their
their
first
real
name.
first name.
It is their real first name.
Okay, so it's
This is a stumper, I will say. This
Yeah.
is like a good Hubba Wah
I'm
question.
going to sit here and
Yeah.
think about it for a minute, and then we'll edit out all the.
We'll edit out.
silence.
You want to put a little music in here or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of that song that's like do 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 do? Some old game show song.
Da 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 da. I don't know. Who whizzed on the electric fence?
No.
I thought you were going to sing Baby Elephant Walk, Ryan.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Let's see. So it's
I'm just running through all the guest stars in my head.
It's Mickey Rooney. No, they don't say his name in that.
So I think I'm going to tell you because
just tell us.
I can't think of it.
Okay, so again, not clear if it's a celebrity. That was maybe a hint.
Yeah.
In Great Muppet Caper, Jerry Nelson and his daughter Christine.
Of course, no Christine, that's a frog.
Oh,
no Christine, that's a frog. They say her name out loud. Maybe she's
Yeah.
playing Christine Nelson. Maybe she's not. She's not a celebrity, but we know who she is. That was the only fact that that's the only other one I could find in all these different Muppet movies.
Yeah. Huh.
I was really expecting to see like one more.
Yeah, that's interesting. Most people watching that would not realize or assume that her real name was Christine. So yeah, that's
right. Yeah,
it's just name,
interesting.
And I assume that Billy Bones' name is Billy Bones in the book, right? I have not read Treasure Island.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Billy Bones, yes.
Yeah.
Billy Bones is named in the book.
So do you think that when they were looking to adapt this movie and they read Billy Bones, who can we get to play Billy Bones? Who's a famous Billy? Billy Crystal. Let's get him. He's not available? Yeah, we'll just get Billy.
Billy Crystal. Can you imagine the opening narration of this movie if it was Billy Crystal? Yeah, Captain Flint entered 15 men. Only one man walked out.
He could have done it.
I'm thinking,
but he
Billy
could.
Connolly is hamming it up here. Billy Crystal also loves to ham it up. So,
and Billy Crystal would have done it in a silly voice, like he would have done an accent.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. He would. He would have done a pirate. Well, you're right. He wouldn't have been like doing Miracle Max or whatever. Like you're right.
Probably not.
Yeah. Although that would have been fun too. I could have gone for Miracle Max in this movie.
He goes into the Admiral Benbow Inn, orders a nice mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich where the mutton is nice and lean.
I did read in researching the movie that Kirk Thatcher is a big fan of Billy Connolly and came up with a lot of Billy Bones dialogue in this movie, and also that the crew was amazed that Kirk Thatcher, when they were writing the movie and like doing table reads and stuff, Kirk Thatcher could recite Billy Bones dialogue and sound very much like Billy Connolly's voice doing it. So,
interesting.
It might have just been his idea to cast Billy Connolly.
Well, and you know who else would have played a good Billy Bones is Kirk Thatcher.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. I wonder if they ever considered that.
I mean, considering there's like 2 celebrity cameos in this whole movie. Like they're probably like, no, we need like a name.
We need one more name.
Yeah.
Was that all your Billy Connolly?
Good. Yeah, we can move on. Yep.
Yeah. So yes, they're in this candlelit tavern. As with the Muppet Christmas Carol, this movie, unlike the first 3, takes place in a world not a world that is mostly populated by humans with a few Muppets here and there. It's kind of like evenly split. The population is half Muppets and half humans. So as with Christmas Carol, it's fun to scour the background of all these scenes and see how many Muppets we can spot and identify. In this room, there's a bunch of pigs. And then I think in the back corner, there's a dog from Dog City.
Yeah.
I spotted him. Yep.
Yeah. And then we have the laundress from Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And
love to see her in this. I really do.
Yeah, it's fun to see her back. And then we also see Bean Bunny, Robin, and Rowlf. We like those guys.
It's true. And Rowlf especially, like watching this for this, I kind of forgot how all those years where Jim and Richard's characters just didn't talk.
Yeah, he's there. None of these 3 have a line.
Right. But like Rowlf, Scooter, I mean, like Janice and Dr. Teeth, like just like didn't say anything for a decade or more, and it's weird now how like at the time it was just like, yeah, whatever, that's Muppet stuff. Rowlf doesn't say anything.
Yeah, like that's our little wink like, remember this guy? Anyway, we have story to get back to. But I was thinking, like, if this movie was maybe a few years later, even if they hadn't recast Rowlf yet, they at least would have had him like playing piano at the bar. I know
Like
it's
they
probably
did in
not
Christmas Carol.
accurate.
Right, like
Yeah,
they did in
yeah.
Christmas
I know
Carol,
this
yeah.
isn't like an Old West, tavern. I don't know if they had pianos in English pubs like that, but
Yeah.
like, who cares? Like, there's a
Right.
lot of stuff that's anachronistic in this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Oh, that's for
Right.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, I think that's the weird thing is, like, to me, is knowing in retrospect, when we had those brief moments of Rowlf the dog in Muppet Christmas Carol or Muppets Tonight, and he has one little half a grunt, or he's playing piano, he mugs to the camera. But here,
Yeah.
it's like they're deliberately making him an extra. Like, Rowlf is no longer famous. He doesn't get a moment. He's just one of a bunch of pigs.
I'm sure Muppet fans were happy to spot him when this movie came out, but it does, it's kind of just, throwing us a bone. Look,
Right.
here's your favorite. He's not going to talk, but here he is.
Yeah.
We haven't totally forgotten about him.
But I guess my point is more that, like, yes, they're throwing the Muppet fans a bone, but it's so much less of a bone than we had gotten just a couple years prior, which makes me feel like they were continuing to demote Rowlf, and as opposed to like letting him have the same type of mini spotlight of like, it's the Rowlf moment anyway, moving on, or hey, don't forget Jim, and moving on, whatever.
Yeah, I guess they just really hadn't quite decided what they were going to do with him.
Yeah, sure.
Billy Bones says, now isn't that a story worth the hearing? Which is an unusual turn of phrase, but maybe it wasn't unusual in 1883, or maybe it's from the book. I don't know.
It's not in the book.
Okay.
No, here's the thing. As far as I can, like, so far at least, in these 4 minutes that we talked about for the next 2 episodes that Joe's going to be with us, there's essentially no dialogue from the book.
Okay, that's not surprising.
Like, yeah, I don't, like, I think it's a huge difference from Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah.
Where they, like, made an attempt to preserve the language. Like, we talked a lot about how a lot of it has changed, and a lot of it sounds like it, but isn't it?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, more of it than we expected in Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's much more so than here, where as far as so far at least, it's like none.
Okay. Well, everyone says that line with him because everyone has heard that story so many times before. On the table, there is a mug that is carved to look like a man's face, a man's head. And as everyone chuckles, the mug speaks. It says, "I'll drink to that. Ha ha." And watching this, I was really struck by that because I had no memory of that gag at all. Is it possible that I missed it every other time I've seen it? Did I just forget? I have no idea. But I was like, whoa, that mug is talking.
Yeah, and it's Martin G. Baker, right? As we established, it's supposed to look like producer of this film, Martin G. Baker.
Sure. Where did you?
That's what Muppet Wiki says.
Okay, cool. So that must have come from somewhere.
Do you want me to go read the citation?
Well, sure. There are just so many bearded men in the Muppet world that I was kind of thinking, okay, is this supposed to be Jim Henson?
All right, so
is this Michael Frith?
So the Muppet Wiki page for this character is called Martin Baker Stein. And the source.
Wait, isn't that Firestorm?
Yes, Martin the Baker, the Stein, is indeed named after Finn.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Go on.
Yeah. All right. All right. Professor Martin Stein is the one half of the.
He's one half of Firestorm.
Thank you for
Firestorm's secret identity. But the footnote on Muppet Wiki says the Jim Henson Company archive via Scott Hansen. So our friend Scott, who is an editor at Muppet Wiki, found that out. Like, we can trust him. Like, I believe that he has the documentation.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we know. We should make a Stein that looks like Scott's face.
We should.
When I was a kid, my dad collected these like little porcelain heads that were in the style of that Stein. Like, I'm sure you've seen them around. They still have them at like seafood restaurants and stuff. And he had like there was a what do you call it? Like an archway in our house, and they were lining the sides of the archway. And I'm sure my mother hated them. It was like to us, like our Muppet toys that we want to have out, and our spouses are like, really, more of that stuff. Okay, I guess if it's important to you. Yeah, I think of that when I see that style of art. But I also want to take this moment, since we're talking about more characters who are in the tavern. There was a few that you missed, Ryan. I don't know if you were going to get to them, but I spotted there's an old lady sitting in the back, possibly one of the Jerry and the Atrics.
Okay.
I was watching on my computer screen, so it was very small. I could not tell, but it looked like an old lady.
Mm-hmm.
I'm someone can tell me if I'm wrong. There's also a Muppet chicken in the back.
Oh yeah, I forgot the chicken.
Yeah, the chicken is pretty clear to see.
Always good to see chickens.
In a moment, when we get a different camera angle, we could see Pops is sitting up in the rafters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Pops is up there.
Great.
And then sitting at the table with Rowlf and the pigs is, I think it's supposed to be a mole. I think it's like the Muppet mole. I think of him as a mole because of the Muppets Now sketch where he gets covered in mole sauce. He's like a little furry guy. Yeah, but he's sitting there too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good catch.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone was gonna be like, "Excuse me, you forgot the mole."
Yes, definitely. So we don't want to forget.
I had to make sure that was said. We probably forgot other characters too, but those are the most important ones.
The mole,
chicken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pops.
Tell us who else we missed.
Gorman.
Right. So Billy Bones then asks, who has the map now? Some black-hearted, squid-sucking buccaneer? And I like that line because I always like colorful dialogue that sounds obscene that isn't really. There's that scene in Hook, which is not a great movie, but the scene when Peter
Hook,
Pan...
written by James V. Hart.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Maybe he wrote that exchange.
Perhaps he wrote both of these exchanges. Yeah.
Yep. Where Peter Pan and Rufio are exchanging insults, and they're like, some of them are PG territory, but they all sound much worse than they actually are. So that's kind of what this reminded me of. Yes, I would love to hear Billy Bones say to Jim Hawkins, "You're a rude, lewd, crude bag of pre-chewed food, dude."
Is that what that line is?
Yeah.
So who says it? Robin Williams?
Robin Williams says it to Rufio, yeah. What do you think of
bad
that?
Movie.
How do you,
I think it's a terrible
feel?
No,
movie.
it is a bad movie, but that's a fun scene.
But I like Prince Zuko way more than I like Rufio. I can tell you that right now.
Prince Zuko.
Yeah, that was Dante Basco on Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Joe Pesci's fake swearing in Home Alone?
Oh yeah, that's good stuff because that's like
a
cartoon.
Yeah.
That's actually
like
a
Yosemite
thing.
Sam going Rasa Fresh.
That's actually a thing my kids talk about a lot. Is just like just that muttering, like they both think it's really funny, and it is.
It is.
Yeah, totally. Anthony, what's the comic term for when you replace swear words with symbols?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Is there? I'm sure there is a term for it.
Yeah. I'm sure like Mort Walker probably created a term for it or something.
Yeah. Cartoon swearing. You mean just like @ sign, £, exclamation point.
Exactly.
Yeah, there should be.
Are you googling it?
It is called. Yes, it is called Grolix. Apparently.
Ooh.
Grolix. Did Mort Walker?
Growlix. I don't know. This is just like a dictionary definition. Let's see.
Grolix I really hope it was Mort Walker. I really. If I got that right, if I didn't know the name of it, but I didn't know.
Mort Walker and I graduated from the same university, University of Missouri.
No way!
Oh.
Yes, which is why there is a statue of Beetle Bailey in his dressed as a student. He's wearing like a sweater and a
that's how Beetle Bailey started before he went to the army. He was a student,
right? But it's from the school newspaper. It's from like the college newspaper. That's where Beetle Bailey was created.
Wow!
So the statue is his U of M
Beetle Bailey.
Yes, Sesame Street star Beetle Bailey.
Wow. Were you? Oh, okay. So you don't know who created the term Grolix. You just know that that's what it's called.
No, let's just say that it was Mort Walker or
it's probably Mort Walker. Yeah, I'm pretty
unless
pretty
we find out otherwise. All right.
Or Johnny Hart.
Then Billy Bones says maybe Jim Hawkins has the map, and that's when we meet Jim Hawkins, who says, "If I had it, my friends and I wouldn't be here serving you rum, Mr. Bones," which is some nice, concise exposition about what Jim Hawkins and his friends are doing there. This is Jim, and his friends are Gonzo and Rizzo. We know them. We've seen them in some other movies. Jim is played by Kevin Bishop. Now, who is Kevin Bishop?
Who is Kevin Bishop? So Kevin Bishop at the time of this movie was just basically just some kid.
Yes.
He gets the end introducing credit here, right? As we
yeah, I think
established.
that's right.
And let's see. I have a lot of stuff about his later career.
Well, and I can tell you that on the DVD commentary, Brian Henson says that Kevin Bishop was the first of thousands of young actors to audition for this role. And after auditioning all the other young actors, they just came back and decided he was the one.
They just went back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he has continued working. I was thinking about this. He starred in a sketch show, self-titled, in the late 2000s for two series called The Kevin Bishop Show.
Cool.
Where he was best known as an impressionist. He played a lot of celebrities on his self-titled sketch show, and before that on a show called Star Stories, where he was kind of like, that was his big deal, was he was doing celebrity impressions.
Okay.
And so obviously he was famous enough to have a show called The Kevin Bishop Show.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I was thinking about this, that like certainly among Americans ever since then, there's been this idea of like, well, Kevin Bishop became a big star and now he's a big star, and
or at least, a star.
Yeah. But that show was like 15 years ago.
Okay.
So I was wondering like, how big of a star is he really? So I asked British friends on social media, and our friend, and I say British, but our friend Rob Wiles, our longtime Tough Pigs friend Rob Wiles, is from Ireland. And he told me that basically he continues to do well. He gets cast frequently. He's recognizable. People know who he is. But he's not like, he's not like superstar Kevin Bishop.
Right.
And my friend Grace Robertson on Blue Sky, an old Twitter friend of mine, said, if you pass him on the street, you'd probably say, hey, aren't you that guy from that one thing? And Grace is from England. So
okay.
There's a couple of British perspectives. But in any case, he has continued working. He appeared with the Muppets again when they did the O2 live shows. He was one of the celebrity guests. He did a sketch with the Swedish Chef, I believe.
I don't remember. Yeah, I should have looked that up. I do remember hearing about that, but I don't remember what the sketch was. Yeah, I'm trying to think what would be the equivalent level of fame or familiarity with somebody here, like maybe somebody who was on SNL years ago and people would still recognize them, but they're not like
Lonnie Price, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's Lonnie Price.
Or like Sherry O'Terry. People would recognize her and know that they had seen her and stuff. And she still works pretty regularly, but I don't know.
We should note that he is also the speaking voice of the band The Gorillas. That cartoon band?
Yeah.
He doesn't do the singing, but like in interviews and stuff, he's the speaking voice of the lead singer.
Oh, that's neat.
Wow. I didn't. Yeah.
So if he's famous but not too famous, you guys should get him on the podcast.
That'd be kind of fun.
Thought about that. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little concerned about what some of our guests might have to say about his performance in this film.
I think that there's nothing that we could say that he hasn't heard before. Well, you know what I mean?
I mean,
right.
I think he's good. I think this is what
I think he's good too.
Jim Hawkins,
Right. I don't love the character. Like we've talked about this. I wish this movie was more about the Muppets.
That's maybe more in the writing then.
Yeah, but I don't think it's his fault at all. I think he's very good. He can sing. He Gonzo and Rizzo like genuinely seem like friends, which is weird.
Yes, that's definitely true. He works well with Muppets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I don't think there are a lot of problems with this movie. I don't think Kevin Bishop's performance is one of them.
No, I do not either. So there we are, stating it on the record. We, the two hosts of this podcast, think that Kevin Bishop is good in this movie. No matter what any of our future guests say.
I don't care what anyone says. I'm having a great time.
There you go. Just like Robin, the guy who doesn't speak in this movie.
Robin goes to a bar by himself and orders a beer and drinks it by himself.
He is sitting right next to Bean Bunny. I think that they came together.
They have fake IDs.
Maybe.
What did you say, Ryan?
I said, did they have fake IDs because they're both too young to get into a bar?
Do you really think they're carding at the Admiral Benbow Inn?
No, I don't think. No.
It's probably like Gonzo's job, and he's distracted by I don't know something stupid.
Something, yeah.
Something weird, probably.
The other thing
I wanted, exploding socks of death, lol. Okay.
Yep. The other thing I wanted to briefly mention regarding Kevin Bishop, years ago, Joe and I participated in a trivia event at the Museum of the Moving Image, hosted by
I was
Craig
worried that you were
Shimon.
going to talk about this. I thought about it too. Sorry, go
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Hosted by past and future guests of this podcast, Craig Shimon. One of the rounds in this trivia game was where Craig would put a photo of a person on the screen, and we would have to identify who that person was and what their connection to the Muppets was. And one of them was a picture of grown-up Kevin Bishop. And neither Joe nor I nor our other contestant knew what he looked like as an adult, so none of us could figure out who it was.
Now, here's my memory of that event as well is I think Kevin Bishop was the first picture he put up.
Okay.
So I think you and I were expecting like, oh, it'll be a picture of, I don't know, Richard Hunt. And then we'll have to
Somebody a
chime in and
little
say
more
Richard Hunt.
obvious.
Yeah, or at least it would ramp up. So like I was not prepared to be like, I have to figure out who this person is. I thought it was going to be something obvious. And no, and it was not only someone who like I don't think I could have remembered Kevin Bishop's name in that moment, but not knowing like oh right, of course he's an adult. I haven't thought about the fact that he would have grown up.
Yes, he looks different now.
And yeah, then it doesn't look like a child. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a tough one. That was a tough one.
It was. The other thing in that round I do remember is I was very proud of myself for identifying Jack Burns, the season 1 head writer, because I like somewhere in my brain I knew what he looked like, but
From his SNL episode, probably. If I had to guess.
I don't know.
Or the Andy Griffith show.
Andy Griffith,
maybe.
I think, was how I knew what he looked like. Oh, and then also, am I wrong about this? Jim Hawkins has a mullet, right? That's what this hair that he has.
I mean, his hair is pretty shaggy in front too. Like it's not. There's no short in front to his hairstyle. I would say.
You know what it is the fact that the hair in the back that goes behind his neck is straight. So it kind of gives him that mullet look in the back. I think it's kind of mullety.
Okay.
But it's not like a straight up.
I guess, but I just.
Yeah.
It's so long and it's like almost over his eyes in front. Like, I don't know. I think of a mullet as being short in front. That's like the definition, right?
Right. Well, doing chores in the front, sailing for adventure in the back. So.
Did you just come up with that on the cuff, or did you write that down?
No, I wrote that down. That is the only reason why I brought up the fact that it looks like he has a mullet. Of course. What do you think?
I just love the fact that you set up your own punchline. You know,
hey, I'm hosting this episode. I can do it.
You are Abbott and you are Costello. You're the whole package, Ryan.
I don't need either of you. Yeah.
He tells himself to do jobs and then yells at himself for doing
them. Right, so Kevin Bishop plays Jim. Gonzo and Rizzo are played by Gonzo and Rizzo. I think I mentioned this last week, but in the early drafts of the script for this movie, the character from the book was just Gonzo and Rizzo. Gonzo was named Jim and Rizzo was named Hawkins. In the DVD commentary, Brian Henson notes that part of the reason they changed this was because it is a coming-of-age story, and he said, you can't really have Muppets coming of age, which I guess is true. Maybe if you created a new character, but
Walter.
Gonzo and Rizzo, yeah, that's a good example. Gonzo and Rizzo are pretty established. They can go through an arc over the course of a movie, and Gonzo actually will in the next movie. But
from the director of Garfield, The Tale of Two Kitties.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, the part of the problem here is it seems like that statement tells me that they were planning on being really faithful to the book, which after Muppet Christmas Carol, I understand the reasoning behind it. But when you're playing with Muppets and we kind of have an expectation of, the characters work best when we can kind of push against these sorts of, I don't know, I guess expectations. I'll use that word again. Then like they could have had our Jim Hawkins character be this pair of very weird characters that don't necessarily go through a coming of age story, but like can still take us through the steps of the movie and keep it fresh and entertaining, even though it's not exactly the way that was written.
Yeah, I think, and I would love to see the first draft of the screenplay if we could get our hands on it. But yeah, I'm sure they found a way for Gonzo and Rizzo to go through some kind of arc. They could do the same kind of thing where they learn they think they can trust Long John and they find out they can. They have to kind of reevaluate what it means
Yeah.
to grow up and interact with people.
That would have been so much better than having them just be like, they feel like afterthoughts, being like just these tag-alongs to Jim Hawkins.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
Yeah.
It is an odd thing. Yeah. And then here's a fun twist on this part of the development that I came across in a 2020 interview on the podcast Bulletproof Screenwriting. James V. Hart said that the reason Jim Hawkins was not originally written as a human in the first draft was that Frank Oz doesn't like children. That's what he said. I don't know how true that is. Obviously, they did end up with a kid, so I guess
Frank Oz hates three things. He hates children, he hates performing in full-body Muppet costumes, and Marlon Brando. That's it.
I thought you were going to say interrupted at the store while he's buying a can of beans.
Oh,
the fourth thing.
Yeah. Wow.
He
Famous.
just wants to buy beans.
He
Let's
loves
let
beans.
Frank buy
To be
beans.
clear, he loves beans. He just hates being interrupted at the store while
No,
he's
he
buying
loves
beans.
buying beans. We have never confirmed if he loves beans.
He just buys them, and so he has a cabinet full of just cans of beans that he never opens at home.
Pantry,
Loves
bean pantry.
Wow.
Everyone needs a hobby, Ryan. you know?
Someday I'm gonna write an article looking for every time he's told that. I mean, it's not even a story. It's just an example of how anonymous the Muppet performers are. But he's been
Right.
using that illustration for years.
For years,
Such
yeah.
a specific thing. He could say buying anything. He could say buying underwear.
But it's pretty.
You
Yeah,
could just
it's
say at the store.
right.
Yeah, he could just say at the store. Yeah.
Always beans.
Yeah.
Always
leaving his house.
buying
Love it.
a can,
Being
a
in the
singular
universe.
can of beans.
But it's
never
so-
like,
For those of us who pay attention to all his interviews, it's so delightful every time he says it.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I hope he keeps doing it. I don't want him to stop. I want to make that clear as well.
Yes. Keep buying
Yes.
beans. Yeah, also related to this, Kirk Thatcher did an interview with the website Sci-Fi Wire a few years ago and talked about this change from Gonzo and Rizzo to a human, Jim Hawkins. He said he disagreed with that change. His take was like the studio was saying, oh, you have to have a kid in the movie for kids to like the movies. I'm like, that's utter nonsense. That's what Kirk Thatcher said.
I agree. That is utter nonsense.
I mean, it's hard. Yeah, kids definitely like movies that are not about a kid protagonist, or where not all of the characters are kids.
You know what movie might-
Did kids
you know-
hate Muppet Christmas Carol? Because there is not one child in
Yeah.
that
There
movie.
is a child. You're forgetting Ebenezer Scrooge. He says, "Yes, Ed Master."
But he hates stupid old Christmas. He's barely a child. He's that kid is 45 years old.
You know, can I tell you an example of a movie from like around this time that my kids love and watch all the time and has 0 children in it?
Please.
Well, it's not Page Master.
The
That has a
picture
kid
is
in it.
called Cool Runnings.
Oh
They
yeah.
love
Oh, what a great
They're
movie!
crazy for that movie. They've watched it so many times. They call
Sure.
it bobsled. When John Candy shows up in Home Alone, Miles shrieks, "It's the coach from bobsled!" as though John Candy was the Beatles.
Oh,
No,
that's
that's
great.
fun.
What a great movie.
Yeah.
I
So
saw
that's an
that
example
movie.
of a movie
I saw
with
that
no
movie,
kids in it that kids love.
The Boys in the Boat, that just came out
The
Oh,
George
yeah.
Clooney movie. Yeah.
Yeah, the George Clooney directed movie Boys in the Boat, which was quite bad. Don't go see it. But the whole movie I kept thinking, wish I was watching Cool Runnings. They don't have anything in common except for the fact that they're about
a
sport
team.
like sport guys
Yeah.
that go to the Olympics. But man, Cool Runnings is so good.
It's great. It holds up. I don't know how long
Oh,
it's been
good.
since you've seen it, but it holds up. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
That's great to
That
hear.
reggae cover of Wild Wild Life, still great.
Ooh, I don't remember that.
Plays during like a training montage.
Wow. Yeah. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta rewatch that.
When Miles hears the Talking Heads version, he calls it the song from Bobsled.
He doesn't call it the song from the inner tube pilot.
No.
Again, no one knows what I'm talking about. Okay, we can move on.
The pitch tape, Jim Henson talking about what his new TV show is going to be, and they used Wild Wild Life for a montage. Yeah,
Yeah, a remixed version of the Talking Head song. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I was just going to say, I think, who knows how different the movie would have been if they had just stuck with the Gonzo and Rizzo being the main characters thing. But I think kids still would have liked it.
Yeah.
So,
Kids
but,
like Muppets.
Kids like the Muppets, exactly.
yeah,
None of the previous Muppet movies have child main characters.
that's true. Yeah. But we'll never know because that is not the reality we live in. So, back in the movie, the actual movie, Gonzo agrees with Jim. If they had the map, they'd be sailing the seven seas on a 5-year mission, boldly going where no man has gone before. That's a Star Trek riff, obviously. I bet Kirk Thatcher wrote that line because we know that Kirk Thatcher is a Star Trek fan.
And
he's in a Star Trek movie.
He's in a Star Trek movie.
And he worked on multiple Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
But I love Star Trek. I love Star Trek.
Okay.
As of this moment, I have seen every episode except for 11 of every Star Trek show ever made.
Wow.
I am 11 episodes away from finishing Star Trek.
Okay, from finishing all of it.
All of it, every show. And I don't think this is funny at all.
No.
It's not really a joke. It's just a
Like,
reference. It's one of those.
But it's supposed to be a joke, right? You're supposed to be like, haha, Gonzo said the thing from Star Trek.
Right. And then he looks at
Right?
the camera and says, hey, that's catchy.
But
Yeah,
this is the same kind of
man.
joke that, like, I know, Ryan, all three of us dislike, but I know, Ryan, you told me many times that you dislike of, like, hey, it's a pop culture reference.
It's just
like,
a
that's
reference.
not a
There's
joke.
no twist on it that makes it a joke. Yeah. It's true.
No,
Right.
it's just Gonzo saying a thing that we recognize.
Yes.
Right.
That's
And again, like, I hope it's okay with you if I say this, Joe, on the air. Literally earlier today, you and I were texting back and forth, coming up with spoof titles of this year's Best Picture nominees using the names of Brent Spiner's characters on Star Trek.
We have to go back to like a half a step because we were talking about, okay, it's time to, like, every year, as you guys know, I Photoshop spoofs of all the Oscar nominated movies.
Yes, this might be
Muppets
posted by now for all we know.
It might be, yes, and it's time for us to start brainstorming. So Anthony and I are starting to think of good ideas, and somehow we're talking about the movie Poor Things, and Anthony said it should be Lore Things with the character Lore from Age of Resistance.
Age of Resistance.
Right, the rock monster. And I said it should be Lore Things like one of Brent Spiner's many characters from Star Trek. And then it turned into, let's just do Brent Spiner characters.
Yeah, so then it became
Star Trek.
It became Oppenspiner, Soong of Interest, Date Atomy of all.
I really think you should consider doing that and just seeing if anybody notices, if any of the Tough Pigs readers notice.
They're just all pictures of Brent Spiner.
Yes.
And they're all terrible, and none of them make any sense. And
it's all dumb. But my point is, Joe and I, both huge Star Trek fans, we talk about Star Trek a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, we had a long conversation just yesterday about Star Trek because we were both watching Star Trek at about the same time, I think.
Yeah. You were watching Enemy Within with the alien that's just a dog wearing a fur coat.
Wow. That's right.
Yeah, that rules.
It's the best.
Yeah, and so, like, that's to me, but, like, we're both laughing. We're both like, yeah, this specific thing from Star Trek. And in this movie, it's just like the opening narration of Star Trek is being said.
Yeah. I mean, it goes by fast, but yeah, you're right. But also,
I guess my problem is that there's so much in this movie that is that kind of joke, as we'll see.
Okay.
Where it's just like a reference to a thing. But I guess, like, what purpose it serves here is that it's establishing that we're playing faster and looser than Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Right?
This is going to be
like,
a little wackier. Yeah.
I mean, I guess the rats sing Island in the Sun around the same time.
Well, yeah,
that's the thing. I remember you guys talking about this in the previous season of, like, you I know you weren't technically keeping track, but you could have kept track of all the pop culture references, and there would have been like 3. Like, there's so few the entire movie, and yet, with the exceptions of the emotional moments and the like the future Christmas future sequence, like, the movie is still really funny. There's so much good fun stuff in there. They obviously didn't need it. But this movie, it felt like they needed it. It's like that already. I know we're not quite 2 minutes into this scene here, but the only jokes, and I'm using jokes with like quotes around them, is everyone knows the story that Billy Bones is telling.
Yeah,
and the talking Stein speaks, which, again, not really a joke, but it's fun. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
and Gonzo quoting Star Trek. Like it's like they realized, like, we have a page with nothing funny, just write something and put it in there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how many jokes there had been by this point in Muppet Christmas Carol, because it was a similar thing where you had a kind of a slow opening with the credits and establishing the location and the world of Muppets and humans. So I think
Yeah,
it's so
it launches
early.
launches right into
Yeah.
another song. It's
I mean,
Yeah.
this movie has like our whole first sequence of the Shiver My Timber song,
right away.
and that, so like also Christmas Carol has the sweeping, like camera going over Victorian England, good God, Dickensian England. That's what I meant to say.
same thing.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I don't know anything about history.
Victoria was the queen at the time.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, like but once you get to, okay, now there's Muppets in the scene. Like Christmas Carol's got, like, there's New Zealand and he's talking about his boomerang fish, and you got, Gonzo and Rizzo's eating the apples, and they're having the exchange about, like, you're not Charles Dickens. Like, we're jumping right into it.
That's true.
And here I feel like there's just no humor to get us over that hump into, now we're having fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A blue furry Charles Dickens who hangs out with the rat is a great line. Like, that's like a funny line people quote.
Yeah.
To be fair, people also quote 5-year mission, boldly going where no man has gone before. for different reasons.
Yeah, I heard William Shatner say it once. He must love this movie.
William Shatner, big fan.
Muppets Tonight, guest star. That guy.
That's true. Yeah.
And then the other thing I had is that Gonzo does the Dave Goals thing of spreading both his arms apart when he delivers that line. I'm
that's true.
Doing it as I say that. Yeah, that's the one.
Love it.
Listeners, I hope you at home are also doing the Dave Goals arms spread apart gesture as you listen to us. Rizzo says if he had the treasure map, he'd trade it in for a decent meal. So in case anyone is watching and this is their first Muppet movie ever, now you know Gonzo likes dangerous things. Rizzo likes food. Billy Bones warns everyone, beware the one-legged man. He's the one to fear. Jim says they will keep an eye out for him. Gonzo says, yeah, 1 leg, 3 heads, couple dozen noses. And this is when Billy Bones grabs Gonzo by the nose, says, it ain't no joking matter, hose nose. Which kind of reminds me of, like, in cartoons that, I don't know if they probably still do this in cartoons, but cartoons that I grew up watching in the 80s and 90s when the bad guy would always insult his henchmen, like, hose nose seems like that kind of insult to me. But also, we love it when they play around with the puppets. So yanking Gonzo's nose.
That's a good visual too, where like when the way he's holding Gonzo's nose and the way that Gonzo looks, he's not literally stretched. Like later on in the movie, he'll be literally stretched. But Gonzo, the way that Dave Goals holds the puppet, like he looks long and thin.
It does. Yeah, you don't. I mean, you don't usually see Gonzo's nose uncurled. So
well, and just like the way that he's leaning forward, his chin is up, like his whole body is stretched, but also not really.
Right. Yeah. Billy Bones isn't messing around.
Right before this scene, though, before that line, Rizzo says, "Yeah, I'll watch for him if he's delivering a pizza."
Yes,
because as you said, Rizzo likes food. I was curious when pizza delivery was invented, and so I Googled it, and apparently the first pizza delivery recorded was in 1889. So it's only just a few years after this book was published.
Yeah.
Maybe Rizzo invented the concept.
Yeah, Rizzo invented
Could
it.
Be.
Where was the first pizza delivery?
Oh, you know what? I should have looked it up. I believe it was to like a queen or something like that. The Queen of Italy. I don't know. I'm making that up now. I could Google it. But you know what? I want to leave a little something for our readers to do. Give them a little homework.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I want a 5-page essay on the history of pizza delivery on my desk by Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Thank
you know somebody's going to take you up on that.
Great. I can't wait.
We're going to get a message in the Discord with a history of pizza delivery.
But the other thing is that after Rizzo delivers that line, Billy Bones takes a stein and he puts it over Rizzo's head.
Yes, that's true.
But also true, you can see Rizzo's eyes. Like he's like peeking out from above. So the stein has no bottom.
Like yeah,
it's
right.
like a hollow cylinder with a handle.
Yeah,
So what function could that possibly serve?
That's the Admiral Benbow Inn special, a bottomless mug of ale.
Oh, it's bottomless, of course. See, that's the thing. That could have been a joke somewhere in here.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it was. Maybe it was a cut joke.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
just
put it past them.
Picturing those steins where it has like the, I don't know what you call it, but like kind of the flip up top, but
oh yeah, sure.
Still would need a bottom, so it doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It's a flip up top and a flip up bottom.
Yeah, that's that's a new innovation.
Ale drinkers on the go.
Drop it in there, yeah.
Is that like maybe it's like that's the way that they would shotgun beer back then?
Who knows? They love
just pour it in while your head's
they love
underneath
their rum.
They were rumming it up. They were
drinking a lot of grog. Did you ever play the Monkey Island computer games? All those pirates drink grog in those games.
Yeah, LeChuck.
Yes.
I only played one pirate game, and it was the Muppet Treasure Island CD-ROM game.
Oh, see, I never played that. We're going to talk about that.
You got to talk about it. There's so much to say. You got to talk about Billy Bones' mom. She's in that game. Yeah, I just found that out today.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, we're planning to talk extensively about that in a future episode.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I'll leave that one to you. You could look up the Muppet Wiki page for Billy Bones' mother.
Wow.
Okay. And learn all about her.
Can I just ask you this? Is she played by Billy Connolly?
No, but she is played by someone that we know.
Wow.
Like through the Muppet world. So I think you'll have that's a little teaser for everybody for a future episode.
Speaking of Billy Connolly and drag, y'all familiar with the sitcom Pearl starring Rhea Perlman?
Yep.
Yes,
watched it
because I was on a family trip to Las Vegas whatever the year was that show premiered, and
I want to say 96.
Okay, so they were doing whatever hotel we were at. They were doing this like CBS TV preview where we were going to be test audiences, and they were going to it was like, this show hasn't aired yet, it's going to air, it's the pilot, it's going to air in the fall, you're going to be the first group to see it, and we're going to have you like press a green button when something happens in the show that you like and a red button when something happens in the show that you don't like. And my family went twice. Once was the sitcom Pearl, and the other time was a drama about a police psychologist named Maloney, which I actually liked and ended up watching the whole season, and it got canceled. But yes, I do know Pearl.
So, you know what this reminds me of?
Cool Runnings.
So what this reminds me of is a month or so ago, I went to a mystery movie screening.
Oh, that's fun.
And it was like we paid $5 and we didn't know what movie it was. All we knew was the rating, the length, and the fact that it was a movie that hadn't come out yet. And so although the movie that fit all that criteria, and I was 100% convinced we were seeing the new Aquaman movie. And I was like, great, to see Aquaman before everybody else for $5. What a gift. Like, I was excited. And then the movie starts. You know what it is? The Boys in the Boat. Looney movie.
Hey,
terrible
can I
movie.
say?
I wish I was watching Cool Runnings.
Can I say what I was going to say about the TV show Pearl?
No, we're moving on.
No, we are on a tangent, Anthony. Unless you want to go back and talk about Brett Spiner.
I want to talk more about the TV drama Maloney.
My one is a tangent. Okay. So Malcolm McDowell, the premise of the show Pearl is that Rhea Perlman goes back to college, and her professor that she butts heads with is the bad guy from Star Trek Generations, Malcolm McDowell. And there's an episode where Billy Connolly plays his brother. Never mind that Malcolm McDowell is doing his native British accent and Billy Connolly is doing his native Scottish accent. They are brothers, and there is a framing device in this episode that they have written a letter to their two aunts, played by Malcolm McDowell and Billy Connolly in drag. So we have multiple scenes of them as old women reading this letter in a half-hour episode of Pearl. It's the only episode of Pearl that I've ever seen. Previous guest on this podcast, Carolyn Wiesner, showed it to me. I don't know why she did that. That's the whole story.
Wow.
I probably saw that live. We were Pearl fans.
You were Pearl
fans.
I
did watch a few episodes of it.
We watched it. Yeah. But in retrospect, I just think about like, Malcolm McDowell isn't funny. Why did they put him in a sitcom?
Has Malcolm McDowell ever been funny? I don't know.
He's
Probably
not that. He's not that funny in Time After Time.
No, he sure isn't. And then I don't know if I've said this yet. The next thing Billy Bones says is the one-legged man brings death. So I've decided to keep a tally of all the times in this movie because this is a darker Muppet movie. All the times people talk about death or killing or dying. So so far, I went back to the beginning. So far, I have one instance of the word killed, one for murder, one for dead, one for died, and one for death. So I'll let you know as I update that list. Yeah,
you're just doing like audible mentions, like you're not counting like Captain Flint shooting a bunch of people, like actually murdering people.
Oh, maybe I should keep track of like.
We got 14 murders.
Yeah, gunplay or.
Yeah, what's the body count on this movie?
Body count. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Entertainment Weekly used to keep track of that in like summer movies, and then I think they decided it was a little bit morbid.
A lot of IMDb trivia movies, like movies with their IMDb trivia, will have a body count.
Yeah. Huh.
Yep. Under spoilers.
Oh yeah, because you might not know that anybody's gonna die. So then a lady emerges from the kitchen and yells, "Closing time! Pay your bills and shove off!" And that is the proprietor of this establishment, and this is Mrs. Bluveridge. She's played by one of the other humans whose name we saw in the credits, in the opening credits, Jennifer Saunders. Now, who is Jennifer Saunders?
You know, actually, I was just wondering, who is Jennifer Saunders?
That's a great question. Well, she's an English actor and comedian, perhaps best known for creating and starring in the TV comedy Absolutely Fabulous. Before that, she was part of the comedy team French and Saunders with Don French.
Much like Kevin Bishop, they starred in a self-titled sketch series on TV.
Right, yeah. They had their own sketch show, and also during that time when that show was on the air, the two of them appeared together on an episode of Jim Henson's The Storyteller. They played the title characters' bad sisters in the episode Sapsarrow, which I think might be my favorite episode of The Storyteller. It's definitely in the top 3 of 13,
it's a good
or
one.
however many there are. Most of her IMDb credits are British productions, but American audiences might also know her as the fairy godmother in Shrek 2, or maybe as Marie Van Schuyler in the 2022 Death on the Nile. I don't know.
That was the thing I was going to bring up, was Death on the Nile.
Yeah, is she good in it?
Sure, she's fine.
Okay.
I
mean, she's funny.
I can't say she was great, but
someone will point this out. French and Saunders play the kooky neighbors who used to be circus performers in Coraline.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, cool.
They do the voices for them. Yeah.
Nice.
And I just because it's a Muppet connection, one of the Muppet parody calendars did a spoof of Absolutely Fabulous.
Oh yeah.
With Trey Fabuleux. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't speak French. And it's
neither does Piggy.
Yes, Miss Piggy and Janice, because those were the two female characters.
Else? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Jennifer Saunders, very funny, a delight. Wearing a fat suit in this movie, and I hate it. I think it's. I don't understand why. I don't think it's funny. Like, even like I don't mind like a beautiful woman playing an ugly character or whatever. I really don't. But like, she's so hideous for no reason. It has nothing to do with the character.
Yeah, I mean,
and
Billy Connolly is pretty grungy in this.
Right, but she's wearing like fake teeth and like
those
boils all over her face and stuff.
Yeah,
and is in a fat suit. Like, that's true. Like, obviously, like, okay, I'm a fatty over here talking, fine, but like, it's not good. There's no reason for it.
No, exactly. It's unnecessary for sure.
The only thing I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of, what year was this? 96?
Yeah,
is that when this movie came out?
Yeah, same year the TV show Pearl started.
And Maloney.
That's how I should measure. Yeah, Maloney and Pearl, same year. But like, like later on, spoilers for this movie that you probably already seen, is like when she's fighting off all the pirates and she's kind of like using her weight as like a weapon, like Homer Simpson in the Simpsons arcade game. But like, it's like, not that that's funny, but like maybe in 96 we thought it was funny. I really don't remember.
I'm sure somebody thought it was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Anthony. I don't think it's good. And like in this scene, she comes out of the kitchen, and because she's so large, she accidentally kind of crushes this cow
Yes.
against the wall, who is wearing an earring, like a big old earring. Looks like
Yeah, the earring cow.
yeah, the earring cow. That's his name. That's her name. Probably it's probably a female cow. Yeah, no, that's I don't know.
You're
it's
right.
not really a joke.
The character easily could have been abrasive, and the character. I mean, they could have just given her the fake teeth too, but without the fat suit. You're right. Yeah, there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this cow.
I do think it's funny that after she hits the cow, she says, "Oh, drunk again, are you?" I like that. I think that's funny.
I did not recognize this Muppet cow. There's this we're used to Muppet cows kind of looking the same, like Gladys from Sesame Street and the cows who did the Elegance number on the Muppet Show. This cow is a totally different style or design. And I searched her on Muppet Wiki. I looked at all the different characters listed on the page, cows. And I don't think this cow had been used before this movie. But after this, this same puppet was the cow announcer for the Lash Holstein Space Cowdet sketch on Muppets Tonight in the Rick Moranis episode. So
I think I may have started that wiki page.
Ooh, you should go look.
Back when I was more of a wiki guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had assumed that this cow was, because it looks somewhat more realistic than the usual Muppet cows.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe it was from the animal show.
Sure.
But one, it's not, and two, there's no cow episode, it turns out, of the animal show.
There should have been.
So.
Mrs. Bluveridge says, boys, look at this place. How come it gets to be such a pigsty? And the pigs in the tavern seem mildly offended. She says no offense meant. Billy Bones throws down some coins. He goes to his room. Everyone leaves, including our friends Rowlf and Robin and Bean. So say goodbye to our friends. We're never going to see him.
That's it. That's a wrap on Bean.
Movie. Yeah.
Bye, friends.
And Mrs. Bluveridge, as everyone is walking out the door, she says, "Don't forget to," and that's where this clip ends. Don't forget to what? We have no idea. Don't forget to wash your hands. Don't forget to pack a toothbrush. We have no idea what she was going to say. We'll have to wait until next week.
Don't forget to tune in next week to the next episode of Moving Right Along. That's what she was going to say.
Bye. Okay. Yeah. No.
She says, don't forget to count. Don't forget to breathe in and out.
Oh, that's good.
All that stuff.
Good reference. Good reference.
Follow that bird.
So I think in a minute, Anthony, I'll go to you for stuff from the book if you have.
Yes, I do.
Okay, but first, some things from the June 1st, 1993 draft of the screenplay. There's one small difference, which is that Gonzo asks Billy Bones to tell his story about the time he fought 50 macaroons with his hair on fire. Okay, that's another one of those, Gonzo is weird and he likes weird things. Sometimes funny. But the biggest difference is that Bunsen and Beaker are introduced in this scene, in this draft. Dr. Livesey and his assistant are spending the summer at the Trelawney mansion up on the hill near the tavern. So clearly they were trying to introduce all the main characters, the familiar Muppet characters, and bring them all together sooner in that draft.
A little foreshadowing.
Yeah, exactly. The Trelawney mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting that the final version introduces those characters later and brings them all together later. And then there's also a moment where Billy Bones is ranting. Bunsen asks him to be quieter. And then Bones stabs a knife into the table and then strangles Beaker until his eyes bulge out of his head. So I guess they wanted to throw in a Beaker gag and also establish that Bones is wild and crazy. So.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much. I'm so glad they didn't do that.
I mean, Beaker's always getting tortured and abused, but
but usually not by a large adult human man.
That's true. That makes it a little
I think
different,
that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, and all the Beaker abuse is it's not it's an accident of poorly made science experiments, not actual abuse.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it is abuse, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I didn't write this down specifically, but the script notes something about maybe Beaker's eyes are balloons, and after they bulge out, they deflate like balloons, and then Bunsen has to pump his eyes back up to their original. So I don't know, but obviously they didn't go with any of that.
That sounds like the kind of Muppet gag that's written by someone who's never written for the Muppets before.
I mean, Jerry Jewell,
right?
Kirk Thatcher, and James R. Hart.
No,
so who knows?
I know. I'm just saying, like, doesn't it
James
sound
V.
like
Hart.
that kind of
James
gag?
R. Oh, Kirk R. Thatcher and James V. Hart. Thank you.
Yeah, but like, doesn't it sound like the kind of thing where you're like, yeah, Beaker gets hurt all the time, and then like Muppet writers have to come in and be like, no, not like that. Like, there's more nuance, there's better rules.
On the other hand, sometimes Muppet fans are critical of like, oh, they just made Beaker's eyes light up again.
Yep.
So we like it when they do different things, different ways of Beaker getting hurt. So the other thing is the draft specifies that Mrs. Bluveridge is a Muppet, which is interesting. At that stage, they were not thinking of casting a human celebrity as
that would have been better, probably. I mean, like I said, I like Jennifer Saunders as a performer. I don't think it's a great character, and I don't like how she looks in the picture. Right. So, like,
I guess this would have been a newly built Muppet, or not a
yeah,
Muppet.
It would have been like Penny Waxman.
It would have been. What if it was Penny Waxman? What if it was Leslie?
Wow.
But truthfully, it's like there's so few opportunities in this movie for celebrity cameos. So I'm sure they were like, we gotta find more places to put someone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's it for that draft of the screenplay. Anthony, what do you have from the book?
So, when we did Muppet Christmas Carol, I checked in with how it compared to the book in a segment that I called The Old Curiosity Shop, named after another Dickens novel that is unrelated to A Christmas Carol.
Right.
So in that spirit, I am now opening The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Wait, what kind of sound effect am I going to have to come up with for when you do, like, just a dramatic musical sting?
I guess so,
like a bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get the score to the Frederick March movie or the Spencer Tracy movie.
Okay, I'll look that up.
And this famous score to the Frederick March, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. No, but so one thing that we're going to find, I think, and certainly we find here, is that very little of this is in the book. So here's what is in the book. Jim lives at the Admiral Benbow Inn, but he lives with his parents.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. As the book opens, his dad is dying, and he in fact does pass away in chapter 3, which largely will inspire Jim to go on his quest,
I don't remember that. Okay.
But his father is alive at the start of the book, and his mother is like running the inn. That is true. She's fine. She survives. But at the beginning of the book, the inciting incident is that the salty old sea dog Billy Bones shows up, and he asks to be called captain. He gives Jim, quote, a silver 4-penny on the first of every month, if I would only keep my weather eye open for a seafaring man with one leg. So he does tell him to like look out for the one-legged man who's going to come after him. Jim is scared of the idea, but he speaks of having a fondness for the captain. So that's I see where they get from there to Billy Bones is sitting around telling stories at the inn or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's some other stuff that I think I'll save for next time because it goes just as well there. Okay. And we're running extremely long.
Yes. We had a lot to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then in that case, anything else about these 2 minutes? Joe, starting with you.
The only other thing that I had was this idea of Mrs. Bluveridge. I guess I don't know if she's a character in the book, but I read that
she's not.
She's not a character at all.
Correct.
So where did the name come from?
Oh, that's a good
What
question.
A weird random name, Bluveridge.
Yeah. Are there any?
I don't have an answer. But
any famous literary Bluveridges or?
I literally just Googled the word Bluveridge, and all that came up was Muppet Treasure Island.
Muppet Treasure Island,
yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I have no further commentary. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Is it a portmanteau of somebody else's names? I don't know. Okay, Anthony. Anything else on these 2 minutes?
No.
All right. With that, then, we can wrap things up for this week. As always, thanks to Morgan Davy for our show's logo. As always, you can find Tough Pigs on the internet at toughpigs.com, and we are all over social media, as well as TeePublic and Patreon. You can also check out the Tough Pigs Discord server, where we're telling the same stories over and over again at the tavern over there at the Discord server. You can
I'll drink to that.
You can email us at movingrightalong@toughpigs.com. I am on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat, and Anthony is on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. Please follow us there. And Joe, where can people find you on the internet?
You could find me at on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat, and on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marcus. Nope, don't do that. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired.
Zeppo Marcus, that's me.
That's it. I have to go register that so no one else does.
With a K?
Yes. No, I've taken the opportunity of the chaos going on over Twitter to quietly get out of social media. So really, I only post on the Tough Pigs accounts these days. So
sounds
find
good.
me there. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even mention our Blue Sky accounts, but Anthony and I are also there. But we talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I've been using Blue Sky more than I used to.
Good. Yeah, it's nice over there. So then, yes, listeners, also tell everyone you know to listen to the show. And join us again next week for another episode of Moving Right Along. Goodbye.
I'll drink to that.
So will I.